And then for the week, when it comes to eating out, but again, this is nothing compared to what I would be paying back home. I remember just me myself, I would budget for $100 for the week for groceries. So I'm going to get the things. I'm going to get the fruit. I'm going to get the vegetables. And back home, where I was shopping, fruits and vegetables are pretty high. And that takes the most of your expenses. And besides buying in bulk, you buy your rice, your oil, your bread, your pasta in bulk, and then you allow that to last you for the month. Most of what you're paying for is fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and herbs, and that would last me. Yeah, that would um, cost me about double of what I'm, if not more, of what I'm spending here. So that's cool. That's really cool. That's really cool. I enjoy that. Now, the last thing that I will note is transportation. Transportation. So, in the town that I live, everything is walkable distance. Now, if you don't feel like walking, or if it's a little further than what you would like, you can take a tuk-tuk, a taxi, personal, private taxi. Well, it's really public, but you know what I mean. And one ride in a taxi is 5 quetzales, which is less than $1, my friend. Less than $1 for a ride. From here to the market, from here to the grocery store, from here to the supermarket, from here to wherever you need to go, baby. Okay. So per person, it is 5 quetzales. Now, sometimes they may try to charge, especially foreigners, a little more, maybe 10. Now, in the other town that I was living in, San Marcos, the price go up, okay? Because again, San Marcos is a bit higher in terms of it's just higher. It's just more expensive over there. Whereas Panajachel, you get your good prices here. You get your good prices. Yes. I would say that about the transportation. Aside from tuk-tuks, you can take a lancha, a boat, which will take you across the lake, anywhere you need to go. From Panajachel to San Marcos, if you drive across the lake, that is at least 2 hours, give or take, with traffic. Without traffic, I don't know, with or without. But it's a long time. Across the lake, it's less than 30 minutes. So it makes sense to take the lancha, not only because it is faster, but because it is more economic. A lancha ride from here to San Marcos is 25 quetzales during the day, which is about $3. So you can take a boat ride from here to there, 30 minutes, give or take 25, 20 minutes, and you can end up where you need to go. Now, there are different prices depending on where you're going, but it usually ranges from 10 to 25 day rate. Now, after about 5:30 p.m. is when the public boats stop running, and you'll have to take a private lancha. Now, word on the street is there's also after hour lanchas for the locals. But again, and I understand it. It's a bit of not nepotism, but tribalism, I guess, for lack of better words, when it comes to the lancha, because you have some people who live here who pay $5 to get on the boat. So again, it ranges, everything is open to negotiation, and as you build tenure, the cost goes down. So you can live here for maybe 10 years, 5 years, and you may be paying a local rate. But again, I feel, it is equitable for people who are earning more to spend more. That's my opinion. So yeah, that's about the cost for a tuk-tuk ride. And how often am I doing tuk-tuk rides? How often am I doing lancha rides? Well, I'll say once a month I'm getting on the lancha because of where I stay. I don't really need to go elsewhere on the lake. I have everything that I need in this town. So I don't visit the lake as much as I did when I was staying in San Marcos, where we would get on the lake maybe a few times a month, maybe 3 to 5 times a month. We would get on the lancha. Um, but again, that's really no cost. There and back is 50 quetzales, $6. So again, you know, you can do that math because I'm not about to. But but yeah, so tuk-tuks and lanchas are the main source of transportation. Anything outside of that is maybe a private taxi, a private driver. You can get a private driver that can take you from here to the airport, to the central airport in Guatemala City for, I believe, now I was given a rate of like 650 quetzales for one person, which could be lower, I will say. I, they were definitely charging me a little bit more than what they would, but um, less than $100 to get from here to the airport, and that can range from anywhere between a 3 hour drive to a 7 to 8 hour drive, depending on traffic. $100. Come on now. If you take a Uber from Richmond to DC, that's over $100, and that's a little over 2 3 hours, I want to say. So you do the math, you do the math, you do the math. Okay, that's transportation. The last thing I will touch on, just touch because I don't have a lot of information about this, is healthcare. I know that there are pharmacies here. I have not yet had to go to a medical center for anything. The most I've had to do was go to a pharmacy to buy medicine or buy, um, yeah, buy medicine. So they're everywhere. Um, like your CVS back in the States or your Walgreens, whatever you're familiar with. They have that. Um, but in terms of like medical facilities, I have very limited knowledge because I have not taken advantage of those facilities. If I need medical support in that way, I've been able to go back home and get that support. So that's been helpful for me. But um, regardless, there are hospitals, there are first, what do you call them, like urgent care type of emergency centers, there are clinics, there are eye doctors and surgeons and dentists, where I stay. So that wouldn't be a problem to get the access to a facility. Now, in terms of costs, again, that's where I leave you with researching it because I'm not sure about that. I know I have a friend who um, is her mother is awaiting an eye surgery, and the operation is 25,000 quetzales. So I'll put the conversion there because I'm off the top of my head, I don't know what that is. But for an eye surgery to fix cataracts, I believe is the operation. So to fix that, we'll go around that rate. But that's kind of all I have for that. Hello. Guess what? Guess what? You done made it to the end of the travel series. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Clap it up. Clap it up. First of all, thank you. I'm so grateful that you made it to the end of this. And if you have watched every episode until this one, let's clap it up again. Let's clap it up again. Yep. People in the back. Yes. Now, if you haven't, you are missing out, okay? Because there are many episodes, at least 5 or 6, that you haven't seen. And I need you to go ahead and click on that. All right, I got a whole playlist for you. Got it all mapped out. All right, cool. want to share something with you. And I'll be brief, I promise. I think, I hope, we'll see. But I want to share something with you. And, over the course of my healing journey, since at least 2020, okay, but for sure more longer than that, right? I have had journals upon journals upon journals. And those journals contain diary entries, they contain visualizations, they contain brain dumps, everything that I've wanted to put on paper out of my mind, you can probably find in there. But as I became more mindful about my purpose, why I'm here, what brought me here, journaling became more of a instrument for my healing. And journaling has allowed me to quantum leap into a reality that I didn't know was possible before. You see, I'm here living a life that I've dreamed of, and it came so quick. And I truly believe that it was expedited because I gave myself permission to open up to the possibilities that I was worthy of receiving this life. And you know how I got there? Well, I had to do some cleanup. So, journaling, writing, asking myself questions that helped me audit and organize my thoughts and get clear on who I really am and who I really am becoming, who I want to be, who I don't want to be, all of the above. And so I would love to share with you 5 simple journal prompts. 5 simple yet profound, transformational self awareness questions that have helped me gain the insight that I've needed in order to take the leap of faith. So, how do you get this? Well, go in the description below this video and you'll find a link. All you have to do is click on that link. It'll take you to my website where you can sign your email into our email list, get introduced into the Soul Tribe, okay? That is where I will continue to send out communications with those who are vibing with my vibration. And once you sign up, you'll get exclusive access to a free downloadable PDF where you get to work through those questions. All right. So, if that sounds good to you, if that is something that you have been yearning for, of just what to ask yourself, if you just want to simply try it out and are curious about what I have to offer, please, I beg, go ahead and click it. All right. It'll support me first and foremost, but it'll also support you. And that is what I'm striving to do here on this platform. So, without further ado, thank you for taking a look at this travel series. Thank you for staying curious. And thank you for keeping up on what I got going on. All right. Also, make sure to like this video, comment what you think, and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with a friend. Continue the dialogue. If this is something you're interested in, if you're just loving it over here and just a fan of what I have going on, please spread the word. We need more positivity in our algorithm. Am I right? Okay. So it'll help me out, and I trust that it'll help you out as well. All right. Thank you again. Check out my other videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.